What is up, scent heads, smell beast, and frag freaks? It's your boy. My name is Mega Dave, and since I ain't gonna get my hair cut here in the foreseeable future, I want to talk about one of my favorite barbershop fragrances of all time. That's coming up next, and this is Eau So Fraiche. Yo, what is good, Fresh fam? For everybody returning, I want to say thank you so much for being a freshie. It really means a lot. And if this is your first time here, welcome. As I said before, my name's Mega Dave. This is my channel, Oh So Fresh. I do reviews on fragrances that I absolutely love, and I hope that you love them too. If you do, give me 2 huge fresh thumbs up. That lets me know that you enjoy the content. Also, think about subscribing and hitting me down on my belly. That lets you know when I'm uploading new fire, because who knows, it could be your favorite fragrance that I review next. Today, as you saw, my hair is looking a mess, beard's looking rough, so I need to get in the vibe of sitting in that chair, just kind of chilling, talking to my homies, telling them that their football team is trash, telling them that they smell like an old dirty sock, things like that. I want to get in that barbershop vibe, so perfectly so. I received my box in the mail. I ordered a bunch of fragrances. They all got here, and one that I was super excited for, and a bunch of you guys that are fans of Fougère's got this in the mail as well. It is an inspiration of Yves Saint Laurent's mega hit from 2003, an instant classic, especially among gentlemen and men that love that feeling of sitting in the barber. It was called Rive Gauche. It was brought to us way later after they did an original women's version. This was brought, gave that edge, and brought that lavender that we all love. But here in the house of Dua, it's just called River Fougère. Now, as I said, this is based off of 2003 Yves Saint Laurent. They did a phenomenal job capturing that Fougère vibe. We all love green, clean, especially who will not love the smell of fresh shaving cream, shaving foam. That's what you got here, but with some twists. But let me shut up and get to why you guys all came here and get to the scent breakdown. All right, I got my River Fougère and of course my handy dandy fresh strip, and we're gonna take the river to the paper. Ooh, baby. Manly man. It just gives a man vibe right off of the bat. Upon first spray, the opening, unapologetic, spicy, herbal, rosemary, and a very, very kicked up star anise. For those that don't know, that star anise note is that licorice type of vibe. Hopefully that doesn't put people off. It has that very kicked up star anise, like for those fans that know what Azzaro Pour Homme is, that's what that vibe is. So that's kind of the very first playmakers in this. And one thing that I really want to applaud is the star anise that was kicked up and really remains a big player in this through the whole ride. It is definitely one of my favorite notes in barbershop type scents. Ones that have it is just memories that I have, especially from Azzaro Pour Homme. But it's here. It starts out very nice, very big, very manly. Then it works down to the mid, where lavender starts coming through and starts bringing all of his friends. As we get to the mid, some of that green note still is carrying through, but lavender, creamy lavender is coming up, and he's coming real fast. He brought his friend geranium. There's some light florals in here. Again, this is masculine. I'm just gonna be very upfront and say this is a masculine scent. So when I say the word floral, this is not meant to say that this is anything other than a masculine based fragrance. but it helps lend a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of fragrant notes to some of that edge and that green note that is there. This stays very green, but right now, as the mid's coming in, there's the lavender that comes through, very good, and it's kind of chased right behind with coumarin, which kind of gives like a vanilla-y type vibe. It's not like cake vibe, it just gives like a vanilla sweetness, if you will, to some of that lavender that makes it kind of creamy and developed, and it kind of is overtook all of this. So right now we just squeeze that trigger and we got a good bowl of foam that's put in there, and it's sitting on my neck. Just makes me wish that we were sitting in the chair right now so I can get all this scruff taken care of. But since I can't, the second best is I'm gonna put on this river and kind of take my own lazy river back to my memory bank. All right, and then it does really stay, that mid stays there for a very long time. This is very long lasting fragrance. For those fans that had Rive Gauche already know that it was very good, long lasting. This is no exception. The mid stays for a very, very long time until we get to the dry down. As always, I got it on my arm. I've wore this 3 times now, so I've had it as a scent of the day, and then I've wore it twice on my arms to try to test the best that I can, to give longevity, to give the breakdown the best that I can, so I can see how it develops over multiple days as I get these bottles, just like you guys. I buy them the same time you guys do, and I get them, and then I can only test them in their infantile stages. And I'm just telling you right now, this baby is almost a full-grown man. His beard, I can just imagine whenever he puts on his blazer, open chest, no shirt underneath it, just a grown man. His wallet fat with a bunch of credit cards. There's a couple debts. He's not really worried about it. He's got an accountant that takes care of that. They stroke the checks for him. He just drives around. He's got a very nice coupe. Sometimes he doesn't drive and he has his own driver. Sits in the back, kicks his feet up, relaxes, does a little bit of day trading, and moves on with his day. But when we get to the base, when we finally get to the base, because like I said, that mid ride, that shaving cream vibe, takes a long time to get here, and we get down to probably my second favorite part of the fragrance, the patchouli. This is a manly patchouli. There's no hiding that patchouli is here. It's forward, it's front, it's very good. It's very masculine, gives a nice good edge, but there's a green clean note to it. It's not very overbearing or overpowerful. It just kind of helps lend a little bit of softness to this, and that's from a vetiver. Some good woods are in here as well. Cedars in here. It's just very nice. This base is all man all the time. It is very high quality. There's oak moss in here as well. Nothing gets out of hand. Nothing is disgusting. It's just very well balanced and very well blended, like I would expect. I don't think Sam from Duo would bring out bad iterations of this. It just wouldn't sell. So he brought out the best that he could bring out, and I think he knocked it out of the park. I watched a bunch of people that bought this the same time that I did. Everybody else is in love with this thing as well. So of course I had to take my take, do my iteration. But for my barbershop fans, it's here, it's back. It's a challenger to Invasion of the Barbers for sure. This thing is a very good Fougere barbershop scent that kind of goes its own lane. Where some, the line between what is considered barbershop now or what is considered Fougere is so muddled. If there's a peak of lavender, boom, it's a barbershop scent. Boom, it's a barbershop, or boom, it's a Fougere. This is green, it is clean, it is shaving cream, but it also has the edge and manliness and that old school vibe. It just makes you kind of really think about your life and like, what are you doing? But it definitely takes you back. It definitely makes you think of a man who runs his family his way. He protects his house. He's grown. He walks around naked if he wants to. It's his life, it's his world. This is definitely very gentlemanly. This is meant for cooler weathers. This is meant for dates if you like, especially if you're watching football games and you want to chill and just have memories. And this is going to give you a lot of compliments, especially by men that smell this. Not that women don't love it, because I have actually a very good story about the very first day I wore this, but it's just going to invoke those memories. If you are sitting back and you're kind of feeling down, you can put this on and it's just going to take you back to when you used to wear this, or to sitting in that chair and just kind of talking junk, talking smack, like I said, telling them that the Giants suck or the Saints suck or whomever. Saints are actually pretty good. But it just takes you back there. So that's going to put you there. So cool weather, no problem. Very forward. I think this is very masculine. Women, if you're already wearing Invasion of the Barbers or any Fougere, continue to wear it. You're going to love this too. As I always say, wear what you love what you wear. This is definitely a contender for one of the top spots, if not the top, Fougere, at least in the Duo world. There are a lot that I know that Sam and Duo is doing, and we may end up getting a huge battle royale of the barbershop scents, but for right now, this one and Invasion of the Barbers kind of in my mind and in my heart right now, those are the top two in the house of Duo. So eventually we will see. I'll put this baby in the chiller, give him some weeks to kind of really get his voice under him, let his nuts drop, let manliness really come out of him. He's gonna do a little bit of manual labor, get some calluses on his hand. He's gonna come in there ready to rumble. Now, to discuss some longevity, performance, power, compliments, all of that. Told you I had a funny story. So now, while this is a masculine scent, while it is manly, while I think it's very edgy, it has that vibe that men tend to like. My very first day wearing it, I went to a store. We have spaces, I think, probably like you guys have. We have X's on the floor, so we look like little sheep or cattle standing there. We have to stand 6 foot apart. And I'm standing behind another lady. She's waiting in line to pay. And she says, "Who is that smells so good?" And she turns around. It's your boy Mega Dave. She goes, "Oh, you smell so good." Asks me what I'm wearing. And I tell her it's just my natural funk. We joke, we laugh, we date now. No, but that just goes to show you the power and the longevity, because this was about an hour after I'd already been from my house to my car. It was cool that day. It was probably 50 or so degrees, maybe a little cooler than that. But this was 6 foot projection, an hour after, very strong. And this is a brand new bottle. Now, what I typically get, a little over 8 hours on my skin, 2 hours of very good push. And then after that, it starts reining itself in hour by hour until it becomes a very nice skin scent the rest of the ride. Now, you will be able to smell this beyond that, but I consider longevity scent that I can smell without having to nuzzle my nose deep, deep, deep in there to try to pick out something or try to force it. When I can't smell it just by itself anymore, I consider it dead. This one you will smell. If you put it on later in the evening, you go to bed and wake up, you'll still have some residual scent to it on your clothes. It's going to be a powerhouse like all of these Duos are, but this one does have very good power. I think this one will push the boundaries well beyond 10 hours. I think the projection is going to be disastrous with how strong this is, and the notes are in the base. This is designed to be a very long-lasting, very beastly fragrance, just like Invasion of the Barbers. So for fans that have been asking, I know Giovanni, if you're watching this, brother, you've been asking and asking and asking. My friend Gerard, G-Money, dude, you guys asking, all my friends, Bill Brown, Jeff, Mr. Ragu, there's a bunch of you guys that all wear these daily. You guys all love the Fougères. I'm here. I brought this, I kind of saved this one towards the last so I can wear this the most, because this is one that really tugs on a lot of men's heartstrings, and I wanted to do it justice. This one will be making an appearance again. Like I said, I'm going to be battling this versus Invasion. A few weeks, maybe a month or so, really let this thing develop even more, because I cannot imagine how much better this could get. It's just mind-blowing. But for this amazing barbershop scent from the House of Duo, that's all I have. Until I come to you again, I want to say thank you so much. I love you guys all. Continue to be blessed. Stay fresh. We got